तो कैसे हैं आप लोग? आज हम खेल रहे हैं काउंटर स्ट्राइक डेल्टा प्लेन डेल्टा मैप। ये है अपना इन्फर्नो। इन्फर्नो मैप में खेल रहे हैं। चलो सबको मार कराते हैं।
बनाना फ्लैश करके चलते।
ओके
कितना आ गया क्या वो लोग?
स्मोक फेंक दो।
बैक कर दो। मत 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 आओ।
बी आ जाओ। सब बी पर है और उस साइड से आना, दूसरी साइड से। क्या चाहिए?
दे 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 दे। ऑफ दे दे बंदे ने।
अपन से ले लेता।
नहीं मैं दे दिया।
10,000
दिया
बने
बंदे दे दिया।
बॉम्ब ड्रॉप।
कहाँ पे बम?
ये बना
उठा लिया।
ओके
क्लियर है भाई, क्लियर।
मेरा किल चुराता है।
लास्ट अपार्ट्स अबे पीछे 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 पीछे।
कौन सी साइड पे?
भाई नाइफ करने आ रहा था। वॉक लेके खेल रहे हैं, मुझे लगा वॉक लेके खेल रहे हैं टीम वाले, फिर भी नहीं जीत रहे बोल।
वन साइड हो रहा है, वन साइड हो रहा है, मजा नहीं आ रहा।
खत्म
यू आर लेट।
मजा नहीं आ रहा, मजा नहीं आ रहा, मजा नहीं आ रहा।
लेट।
मैं F1 से भाई मजा नहीं आ रहा बिल्कुल।
अरे मजा नहीं आ रहा।
हो गया।
नाइस।
हेलो हेलो।
ऐसे
आईआईटी वाला उधर है।
सब लोग बनाना
बनाना
भूख लग रही है क्या? बने
सब लोग मतलब 4 लोग है।
मिड पुश हुआ। मिड दो।
अरे सीधू भाई
फिट कर क्या बार
कितनी बार करोगे? एक बार करने दे दिया तो दूसरी बार फिर करोगे। अब जो उस टीम में गए थे अब वो कर रहे हैं।
वो लोग बनाना मोस्टली नहीं आएंगे अभी। आए तो अपन जीतेंगे, वैसा कुछ नहीं। नहीं है, कल्टी मारो इधर से। चलो
अरे प्लस रेडी कर गया।
बॉम्ब सामने से हट जा।
अपार्टमेंट से नाइस वन नाइस।
जिता दिया होगा।
यस
मेरा चिकन
काटना नहीं है क्या? रखना।
हम तो जूस मारेंगे।
मैंने कर दिया लास्ट पे।
अबे यार मौली है। क्या फ्लैश?
अरे मेरे चिकन को मार दिया।
भाई का हेडशॉट।
मेरी गोली खत्म हो गई।
गन चेंज कर ले फिर।
मैंने हेडशॉट भी मार दिया, पता ही नहीं था।
चल उतर, चल चल चल। कुछ भी।
अरे वो
20 लाइफ वाले सबको मार दिया।
ओ इसको कॉर्नर नहीं मालूम।
जाओ कुछ करो फटाफट। अरे क्या
बूस्ट करके टीम फ्लैश।
रुक 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 ये जाने दो। जाओ 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 जाओ।
कहाँ पर हैं? हम भी मारेंगे उसे तो।
अरे
खेल रहा है भाई, रिस्पेक्ट।
चोर बच गया।
भाई कहाँ पे खेल रहा है? अच्छा खेल गया।
बच जाते भाई।
बढ़िया खेला, रिस्पेक्ट।
जितना रॉब देता
कुछ दे दो कुछ दे दो। M4 चलेगी।
लल
लल।
चलो
बी क्लियर।
ए क्लियर।
गए
ए
कहाँ
साउंड।
को?
ए साउंड।
रुक जा आने दे उसको, आने दे।
बम्बर है।
बॉयलर्स
जब मैं मारा मत करो यार भाई, मर जाते हैं यार ऑफ वाले।
क्या क्या क्या? अरे माइक मर गया यार। रीपर पे मर गया। नाइस।
इधर होल्ड करो, मैं ही जा रहा हूँ। बनाना मरो मत।
एक ही तरफ जा रहे हैं यहाँ से।
ये अंदर
3 लोग ऐप से।
बॉम्बर है। नाइस।
बड़ी है ना
क्या?
मेरे पैसे है मेरे पास। कहाँ पे है?
होप चाहिए क्या?
किसको चाहिए?
ऑफ कौन ले गया? ऑफ कौन ले गया?
मैं नहीं भाई, मैं
ये
मेरा
ले
खरीद रहा हूँ।
ये ले ये ले।
और किसको चाहिए?
ये ब्लड को चाहिए।
अबे
ब्लड है, ले ले माइक से ले ले।
अबे नहीं भाई नहीं, मरा हुआ जा रहा हूँ मैं तो, हर बार मर रहा हूँ।
ले ले।
दो बंदों ने तो ये दे दी। अब कह रहे नहीं चाहिए।
अबे भाई मरे जा रहा हूँ मैं तो बार बार।
लॉल।
होप पर मार दे।
एक बंदा है।
What's your rank? What's your rank, bro? Bro, what's your rank?
अबे GN3
Okay, okay.
कैसे भी घूम रहे हो गए, एक भी पढ़ नहीं जा रहा। बोलो बस किससे, ये कोई फाइट ही नहीं। सब मिड में मर गया, पूरी टीम मर गई मिड। वो लोग भी मिड पे ही मर रहे हैं।
ऑटो मारेगा सबको।
राइट साइड पे यार। वाह
ब्रीन दिस। अरे नो, वहाँ फालतू फ्लैश है बे।
डी हो रहा है क्या?
थोड़ा सा आगे से हट जाइयो।
सारे स्मोक कर दो, दिखे ना कोई भी। 4 स्मोक फेंक रहे हैं। ए आएंगे।
बी क्लियर। मेरा ही एक ही सिर्फ मुझे ही मारा इसने।
अरे रे कभी कभी तो इतनी गंदी गेम होती है ना, खुद पे भरोसा नहीं होता।
मैडॉक्स ऑन फायर।
देखो अच्छा मैं ही देख रहा हूँ।
फैक्ट्री पर है क्या किसी का? दो लोग मिड पे
आप सारे यूट्यूब पर लाइव हैं तो कोई चिंता नहीं। बंदा आ रहा है मैं, यहाँ से बंदा आ रहा है।
नाइस।
बहुत देर हो गई यार,
दोनों को तो देखो इधर की अभी भी टी
भाई और डेथ साइलेंसर को सब्सक्राइब कर देना यूट्यूब पर।
स्किन मिलेगा?
इसको देख शॉटगन से सबको मार दे।
लौड़ा वही क्या खेल रहा है बे साला, कब 5 को लेके
भाई मैं
5
बोल रहा हूँ बी
को
से पुश करे।
ड्रॉप चाहिए किसी को कुछ?
आन दे AWP
कहाँ पे है तू?
कोने में देख रहा हूँ मैं। हाँ
डेंसर
दे दे। तो ये चाहिए कुछ?
नहीं मेरे पास मैक्स 7 है। ओ भाई आप से बंदे ये ए भाई ए
क्यों छोड़ दिया बे तुम लोग? मिड देख रहे हो?
लास्ट गेम
काटो।
जी जी
बेचारे का काट दिया।
इतना साउंड है क्या कमर? फिर भी नहीं सुन रहा। शी 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 शी।
अरे मिराज
चल अपन भी जा रहे हैं। बाय बाय। डेथ साइलेंसर सब्सक्राइब कर देना।
Some excellent individuals on their side, and that's always a great thing to go into any sort of playoffs with.
Matthew, as you touched upon slightly, Team Spirit having topped their group have technically had
Great thing to go into any sort of playoffs with.
Matthew, as you touched upon slightly, Team Spirit having topped their group have technically had the easiest run so far, and there are positives and negatives to that.
Pep,
But
pep,
they
pep,
played
pep.
Monolith on Dust 2 absolutely destroyed them, and then they beat Forzy on Mirage quite convincingly as well. So they haven't had a chance to play too much Counter-Strike, but at the same time that shows that they're having strong performances. How do you weigh these things up?
I think you're right saying there's two sides of it. On the one hand, obviously you have the confidence aspect of it. You just thinking, we're rolling, guys. That's it. We're playing our best CS. Let's go. We're gonna do this. But the truth is, whenever things can go hard, because playoffs is not supposed to be an easy way. And you never really experienced it in the event so far. You might be like caught off guard and you didn't really know what to do, and you lose grip of the game. So whenever I was playing, I would always be happy to have these games in group stage where you actually fight for it. That gets you in the spirit, pun intended. Yeah. That gets you in the spirit where you kind of have to fight your way through difficulties, and they haven't had that so far. So maybe you can bite them back.
Yeah, because there is something to be said, like being able to adjust on the fly. And again, it's nicer to get that kind of like punch in the teeth early on, so you're feeling you're feeling ready for it. You're ready to take on.
Preferably want to avoid being punched in the teeth at all times.
Well, yeah, you like to be able to smooth through everything, but if that's not going to be the case, obviously as you go further into the tournament, and you're going to play better and better teams, that's just the natural progression of any tournament. Then I'd rather take that punch initially just to kind of wake you up, so your system is shocked and kind of ready to take on any sort of challenges, instead of potentially going into this best of 3 and then being completely overwhelmed by the fact that you're actually playing teams who are able to adapt to what you've been doing. You can't be running the same kind of default for 15 T rounds in a row, because your opponents are now actually doing something about that. They're actually putting it to you. So for Team Spirit, that might be a bit of a challenge. Luckily, they do have 3 maps to kind of come to terms with that. But again, we've seen teams struggle mightily and actually fall apart just in the Americas minor with that kind of an issue. So you can never really be too safe.
No, you're right, Halvor. And if we look at Prosto and how they started the tournament, we can see a bit of what you are talking about, because of how when they played Plink or Nuke in the first best of 1, it just did not go in their favour at all.
They got the punch.
Exactly, they got the punch, and then it came into a best of 3, and they ended up winning that same map, Nuke, and taking the entire thing to the position they are now.
Yeah, so they've already faced adversity in that sense, and again, they don't have to play with any pressure. I think Prosto was in that kind of scenario where, for the initial bracket, they're regarded as one of the favorites to make it to the final bracket. But when they now are, in the same breath as Hellraisers and Team Spirit, they're all of a sudden an underdog. And we talked about how that can play into the mentality of teams from like not having to play with any pressure. That does a lot for, I guess, basically the sense of freedom that you feel, and how like loose you can play and not necessarily put unnecessary stress on yourself going into these matches. You're able to think more clearly in that sense, and I think that's something that can definitely play a big part to it, especially for a team that, even though sure they have some experience, they're not really like at the same level as the teams you'd normally see at a major.
No, absolutely. I think this is the one big advantage of Prosto going to this playoff, is that they basically have, it's only bonus for them from this on. Obviously, making it to major is a huge goal. You want to do it. But they are going to face teams that are arguably better than them, more experienced than them, have been together for a long time. And they should use that. They should use that, go into the game relaxed and just play their game, see what's going to happen, because that's a luxury that their opponents might not have. You play against Prosto, for Spirit, you're supposed to make it to the next step. So might as well use it to the full advantage.
So you said on Spirit it was Coldy, Sumdayoung, and who was the other?
Davkost.
Davkost, yeah. Davkost, who is a very long-standing member of Team Spirit, managing to perform here as well. On the side of Prosto, I think it was Flaric and Kenzor that have been having the top stats so far. But in your opinion, guys, if it's not them, or maybe it is, which player should we be looking out for on both teams?
For me, on Spirit, it is Sumdayoung. He's been kind of the newer leaf on Spirit, because they are a fairly experienced group of players compared to a lot of the other teams here at the CIS major, and he's kind of the newer one in the group. So I'm looking to him to see how he kind of deals with the pressure of being a favorite going into such a massive qualifier as it is. On the side of Prosto, I'm looking at. It kind of has to be Flaric, really. I think he's been the most consistent performer on their side, and he's going to have to continue doing so as well. And then you do have inconsistent partners, the
Mageloi
not so
SL
certain
के
performers on that squad that just kind of have to step up. But you need to have Flairage being that constant performer if you're going to have any shot at all over a best of 3.
Sundar Young would be a great name for an emo album.
No, I agree with you, and that I think Flourish has got to be the pick, like the player to look at for Prosto.
Inferno ban.
For Spirit,
That's
I'm gonna
too
keep my
bad.
own Cody. I've been playing a lot with him, some perks and rankings and FPLs and whatnot. He's a very interesting player, but apparently the veto has started.
Yes, the veto is up, Matthew. You had some predictions before this with regards to what we might see, because they do have some similar vetoes, right? You thought maybe a train ban would come out at a certain point?
Yeah, the veto was actually very interesting because both teams
दोस्तों आप
did not
मुझे
play
बताओ
train.
कि मुझे
Train was the perma ban
CS:GO
for both
की
teams leading up
tip
to this
and
match.
tutorials
And apparently
video
no one
बनानी
took the
चाहिए
bait.
क्या?
They're playing
Both-
chicken.
Yeah, they're
They're
playing
playing
chicken. Both
chicken,
teams
aren't they?
accepted not to ban Train. So, but this is interesting.
This is
Comments
Dust
में
ban.
लिखो अगर
Oh,
आपको
this is
चाहिए तो.
But the Dust 2 ban from Prosto is very interesting because for me, Overpass would have been their veto if they had, veto Train. So this opens up everything. Team Spirit jumping onto the Train ban and the Train pick.
I feel like is this just like a message from Team Spirit saying they're so confident that they're going to be better than Prosto? So even if
Well,
it's
it's going to be
ban, like
going to be that, right? Or they
Mirage,
maybe
Trainer,
over last night or
Dome
whatever,
maps.
just thought we've looked
Ban
at some
देखते हैं कौन सा
Prosto
होगा.
demos on
Cash.
Train. We've worked on our own game for a few
Yeah.
hours, and we're going to make Gambit make a play.
yeah, it's either the case of them thinking like, well, surely we can't be worse,
Yeah.
or the building in the lab, cooking up something special for the miners specifically. And again, we've seen teams kind of toy
That'd be
around
smart,
with that.
wouldn't it? If they imagine that they'd be in this position and people would think that Train is a weak map for them, this could be a great way to exploit that. Maybe they have been working on it even before the miners.
Yeah, definitely could be a wise thing to do, especially obviously you want as many strings to play off of as possible, but definitely kind of taking us by surprise. And we have seen certain teams pick into certain maps and it backfiring pretty significantly for them in the past. So I'm not completely convinced, but I like the fact that they have the guts to actually go for it when this much is on the line.
We do see these things happen
Yeah.
where a new map is introduced or a team suddenly picks a map that they're known to either not play or not be great on. And sometimes these plays work. Matthew, sometimes they don't. What do you think is going to happen in this case?
No, obviously, sometimes they don't. But what is really interesting to me is that I kind of knew, or I knew it was a possibility that teams would not remove Train going to this veto, because that would be like, a game of chess.
Exactly.
But I really didn't expect any of these teams to actively
pick it.
Train. So I think the 3 maps are pretty interesting. I consider Mirage and Cash to be like common ground and sort of middle ground for the 2 teams that both teams can actually play to a decent level. But Train is like
मैं
just
Twitch पर भी stream करता हूँ अगर आपको देखना हो.
so just
ना
based on
मैं
that and
description में
whenever you
link भी है.
can't really, like, base your
Username है
prediction on
Death
the map,
Silencer
just
007.
overall,
Yeah.
I would give Spirit an edge just because I can't see how
YouTube
Prosto
से
are
पहले मैं Twitch पर ही
using
कर
these
रहा
maps to
था.
win
अगर आप
best of 3.
Yeah.
उस पर भी देखना चाहे तो
Matthew
देख
and
सकते हैं.
Vendetta, I must tell you, our casters are ready. So when you receive the ceremonial watermelon, I would like you to firstly give me your predictions. Do not say anything unless you have the watermelon in your hand.
So, very quickly, yeah, kind of agreeing to that. Train is going to be a wild, wild west battle. But you kind of have to go with experience and what's been tried and true. And for us, that's, or for me at least, that's Team Spirit. So I'm seeing them taking this actually 2-0.
Feels good to talk. I'm gonna go with Team Spirit as well. I think made pretty convincing points.
Thank you, Halvor. Thank you, Matthew. And now the ceremonial watermelon will head over to James Bardolph and Daniel DDK Kapadia.
Don't think it will. I don't think it will. Someone smash that watermelon or confiscate it immediately. I don't know what's going on down there. It was worse than yesterday. And I was down
It's
there.
worse that they're trying to also just try to, what's the word? They're trying to make us party to all this as well.
You're in
Trying to
the,
infect
almost
us.
in the colours of the watermelon. But enough about that. Let's move swiftly on to this game. So we'll be Spirit starting on the CT side, I believe, of Train, and this should be a good one. Team Spirit were on one. They have been on one so far this week. Will they be on a heater on Train? Let's see. Prosto have a lot to prove at this point, I think. This will be a very interesting match indeed here in the CIS region.
Pro 100.
Prosto. How dare you?
Is it Prosto?
We know it's Prosto. We've established this already.
I wasn't casting it yesterday. I was not here.
That's also true.
Well, Pro 100.
God, I'm leaving.
They're going to make their way into the B-bomb sites. Le B-bomb sites. Oh, that's a good start. It's always nice to go to the B-bomb site straight away. You can always guarantee, well, almost always guarantee a bomb plant. There's something weird is happening for the CT setup, and we'll see already a 4v2, 4v1. Coldie has something to say about that, though. And there is always a chance. He's got a kit and a smoke, and that bomb is... well, he's a bit far away, isn't he?
He's running just a bit slow. Is he
He's
actually
going a
going
bit
for
slow.
it? I do wonder.
He's being too cautious. He must throw caution to the wind, and he will be shot in the face. So that will be that. Prosto will be able to take the first round. I almost said first map then. Maybe. Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Anyway, we have a Team Spirit going for the Force Spy. They don't actually have too many CZs. We see a 5.7, P250, Deagle, and a CZ. So they have a different pistol in every hand. USP for Davkost, although he's on the Scouts. Cool to see Davkost in action.
Man like Davkost. Double V's. Demetrio. I won't even go for the last name.
Demetrio.
What accent was that, Dan?
As my attempt at a Russian accent.
Do you know any Russian phrases? I take that as a no then.
No, I used to know a couple, but I can't summon them at this point.
Bulshaya Pobeda. Big victory. Zangief says that in Street Fighter in the old ones. Although he doesn't pronounce it. He doesn't pronounce it correctly. Bulshaya Pobeda. Let me see. Levo is left. Bravo is right. Pozadi Tebia is behind you. Got my Counter-Strike calls on point. What else is there? I can't remember what else I used to say. Level Bravo, Pozadi Tebia. My friend Olya taught me lots of Russian for use in Counter-Strike. And I'm out of practice. 27 seconds remaining, and Prosto will be moving into the A site. We've got 3 players in B. And that's going to be a very important kill. Nobody in the IV position allows them to plant the bomb. Now they've picked off the Pop Dog player. Again, always something to look out for. When you see the plant where Prosto planted the bomb, for example, you kind of need a diagonal. You can see that the bomb train essentially cuts the bomb site in half diagonally from Pop Dog to Ivy, so you need to control those 2 areas if you want to get the bomb down in such a position. So that is part of one of many reasons why the Ivy position is very important for the CTs to hold. So it is a very important player who plays towards Ivy on a map of Train. Definitely one to look out for when the Go TVs come up in the major. For those of you in Go TV, coming soon to a London near you. Unless you're in Ontario, it won't be that London. It'll be London, England. London. The filthy streets.
Ooh. It'd be cool to have more ambient sounds in some of the maps. Like here, it's just.
Well, like massive trains on overpass.
Well, for some reason, it's just. Well, not quite like that. I mean, some, stuff that's interesting and it's not really interfering with gameplay.
Well, like that, someone reading a poem. That kind of interesting.
That would interfere with gameplay, James.
Okay, give me an example.
I don't know, just like some more ambient sounds on the map.
Like what? Example. You can't say, like, I would like some more ambient sounds, like what, and then say, I would like some more ambient sounds.
Well,
you need a coffee,
I
Dan.
don't have a list ready.
You should go and get a coffee.
I need a lot of things right now.
Go and get a coffee. Just leave the room.
Alright, I guess I could do that.
Dad's off to get a coffee. Meanwhile, I'm going to take you through this this non-round. I say non-round actually, but look at the pistols here on Team Spirit. Damage can be done. Got a Molotov on the outside. Looking at how long Prosto took in the previous round, on a map such as Train, I'd almost feel compelled if there are ecos to come to Team Spirit to go for an Inferno-esque smoke grenade play. 48 seconds now, and Flarich will offer something towards the IV position. This time, how on earth do we pronounce SDY? Let's check this. But he's on the B-bomb site on his own. Divecos making his way in. Def has been punctured, but he's still alive for now. 28 seconds, and there are still 5 CTs alive. However, Prosto have great map control. And now it isn't looking so great. However, these 3 AKs can most certainly clean this up. There is an AK near the CTs on the high ground, and Ivan has a blind spot. 2 Ts remaining now. I don't think Ivan's heard the play close to him, but manages to clear that one up. 1v1. Oh, so important. Flarich with 1 HP. Jesus. That is, it's very early on here in this game of Counter-Strike, but I do... I just think that maybe if Team Spirit, if they lost this round, for example, they'd be heading towards loss bonus, right? Max loss bonus, they'd be able to invest more in the eco rounds, and I think there's a win there for them. I think there is a win to be had. But for now, they will have 2 sniper rifles and 4 players on the A bomb site. Both sniper rifles on A. One towards Ivy. Monsieur Sotfik having a butcher's hook. Oh, SDY Sundayoung. Okay, it is early for both of us. I have a coffee. I haven't drunk it yet. I should down it. I burned my tongue on green tea yesterday. That wasn't fun. Approaching the 1 minute mark for Prosto. And a lot of the Spirit utility has been used. With a smoke deployed towards B. They've got 1 left on Coldy, who's on the A-bomb train. So he could throw it towards Pop, could stick it in main. Sotfik moving away from the IV position. So there's a change in configuration here from Team Spirit, maybe time dependent. He's in the middle of A now. He can still mount an offense towards the IV position, but I guess he's not expecting a wrap at this point. Lots of grenades in, and again, Team Spirit reconfiguring, but not quite leaving the A site. Sotfik going old bomb train, and Coldy is up front on his own. The bomb's being picked off. That can allow for a full rotation, but Sundayoung is still not moving from B, just in case there's a flank through, perhaps. There's Ken Zorka around the bomb train now, but he can't get to the bomb. Sundayoung making his way towards the pop dog positions. Davkos still around the train, and that's a lovely shot from him, leaving Flarich to try and do damage at this point. 10 seconds remain. He'll want to take some guns away from this CT side of Team Spirit. 2 AWP surviving would be fantastic for them. Might just be 1 now, because Sundayoung cannot trade. It will be Sotfik left alone. So that's huge damage done by Prosto. And once you see the buy from Team Spirit, most of their players, all they have is the win bonus from that round, which will not allow them to buy much. Actually, that said, lest we forget the damage done by Team Spirit in those eco rounds. Prosto had Flarich, the only man surviving, with 1 HP in 1 round, which means that it's going to be a rough buy for both sides. I'm so used to a T side going 3-0, losing the first round, and having a quite good buy. I didn't consider it for a second, but Team Spirit with a chance to stabilize. Coldy, he was big on Mirage on the T side, and around that E-box, he is causing a problem. Finally taken down. Now there's more chance of Prosto. Sotfik still around that IV position, so the bomb can't really get planted just yet. Especially with Sundayoung on the bomb train itself. The trades continue. Do they know where Sundayoung is? He's only fired 3 bullets, it seems. He hasn't killed anybody. Now they know. 1 more flashbang. He would love any other weapon. Has the information. He's not going to have a fatal engagement there. He knows the gun's behind him, but he doesn't want to expose himself. Flarich on the low ground. Sundayoung. He knows there's a gun somewhere. Famas on the floor. 48 seconds. Flarich has the bomb. Sundayoung just shoulder peeking, trying to keep an eye to see if Flarich goes towards the pop dog position, but unfortunately the angles won't work out for him. Now Sundayoung at old bomb train. Used to be able to crawl under that train many moons ago in a different game altogether, technically speaking. But here we are, Flaric moving into the B bomb site. He has no idea where Sundown is. Oh, he goes for the side plant. That's confidence.
Well, that's going to be a bit annoying for SDY. He will make his way across, and a good chunk of time will be gone by the time he gets to the bomb to start pressuring, and then he'll only have maybe another 10-15 seconds to find the kill. As the smoke, that's a good start. Might just want to hold this, honestly. Don't know if he's going to be able to win this battle against Flaric, who has the high ground. Wow, Flaric. Is he going to be able to make this work? Holding it, and it's good. Oh dear. Yeah, that's it almost looked like Flaric just had that because he had the high ground. He was sort of directly above his opponent at an unexpected angle, but he fluffed it, James. He fluffed it.
It's pure guessing game.
Because SDY came out of the smoke after he tapped it, so he was like so exposed. Whereas because it was a side plant, it was actually kind of unpredictable for Flaric, I think, as to where to spray. Anyway, we got some deagles. Well, I say deagles, there's only one. There keeps being only one deagle. I want more. I want more deagles. What is this? Come on. You must give the people what they want. And by people, I mean me.
This is already dangerous waters for the Spirit side. Deep smokes will really concede or compromise the safety of these Spirit players. Dafkos moving in, but I don't know if Kenzork has got his headset on, because that was free information. That's a lovely shot from Dafkos. He's on one today. And I thought that was a lot more dangerous than it ended up being for Team Spirit. You never know. I think sometimes it could be the headset people use. Sometimes people just don't have the hearing because the player near oil should have been heard. Maybe the team is shouting. Who knows?
That's a good point. That is actually like a very good point. Some teams have really poor communication, or some teams might have decent communication, but it's not optimal. But they're very loud. You know, it can vary quite a lot. I recall, you know, when I first heard Na'Vi's comms, like many people, you know, when Zeus would release those videos, their comms is really messy and very chaotic. It would drive me pretty insane, being someone that's used to calmer and more structured comms. But that's how it is. It varies a lot. Kenzorka. I like that name. Kenzork.
Sounds like a Pokemon.
Get zorked. Kenzorked. The coffee's not working, James, I think. I think it's working.
Down it. I downed mine. Although mine's probably cold.
I already had a full coffee as well, just before you suggested I should get another one.
Mine was lukewarm. Maybe need some jelly baby, some sugar.
Inside the coffee. Just melt them. They'll drown in my coffee.
Use the jelly baby as a suppository.
Oh, what?
So it goes straight into the bloodstream.
Hello?
Sundown is alone on the B bomb site. I don't know if Coldie could hear some of that rotation from Ivy based on his position. Really not sure about that one. Dima's in position for a fast rotation. Sundown trying to reposition so they can't see him just yet. Looking for the two-man spray down. Won't quite get that second frag, leaving it into a 3-on-3. Dima on the flank already, and he might catch a tease before they get into position. He's got the sound cues. He probably heard the scope. It's going to be a very, very tight one. He's got to try and basically shoot the belt buckle of Ivan at this point. Straight in the face. That will shut him down. But there are problems on the site itself. The smoke will be deployed. And maybe, well, you could argue who will try to defuse it. I don't think anyone's touched the bomb yet. You can see Kenzork waiting around that smoke. He's got a great angle if a CT starts to jump in. Coldie giving all the sound cues in the world. The knife is out. Oh no! And now maybe the bomb will be defused because, oh no. Oh, the burst fire. That's a round-winning burst fire with the Glock from range as well. And Prosto have taken the lead once more. That was a tight one.
It's good that he realized that he needed to switch to the Glock. His teammate who was knifing him was probably just screaming, Glock! Well, probably not that. That would probably not help at all, really. But that was a nice shot. That was pretty clutch. And you can see what he did with it. He won a round with it. 4 rounds to 3. Spirit behind. But will they be in front once more? They have double ops to try and demolish Prosto's T side in this round. They've got 3 grenades. I feel as though you'd want more Galils here and more, so you can have more utility. I don't know that 3 grenades is really enough, James, with a minute and a half remaining on the T side of Train. I think I would hazard and to say it is actually suboptimal.
2 AWPs though. Oh, on the T side. Yeah, that's a problem. 1 flashbang to rule them all, and they'll have to walk into angles versus AWPs, and that is suboptimal. That
if you had 5 CZs and full utility, it is by far better than 5 AKs with no utility. There's not even a comparison. It obviously depends on your opponent, but if you're playing opponents which are actually of a good level, then you're just never getting away with this, especially when they have double orb. You're just not getting away with this, because you have to rely on dry peaks. That's not a good game plan. That said, Dry Peak will award a frag to Kenzorka. He has zorked all over Sots.
That frag's going to pull Coldie out of position. He was the person watching Ivan's, where Ivan's coming out from now. And that compromises Dima because he's stuck in the middle of the site. Down he goes, and now the players are stuck in the choke point of Connector. Of course, there's no grenades to keep them in there. Coldie will make his way around, and there's a 2-man spray down for him. 3 players surviving before they defuse the bomb. Sumdayoung can upgrade his UMP, although it's a 10-second defuse, so I guess they'll be fine.
Ivan hesitated, man, because Kenzorka's in front of him. You got to be more ruthless than that. You got to look in straight into your teammate's eyes, and you got to be like, "I'm gonna kill you now. It's for the greater good."
Damn.
It's for the greater good. You need that. Ruthlessness.
Oh, I love a good M4A4 spray. Such a satisfying rifle.
It's going to tie things up. I was worried for them there after, obviously highlighting how difficult it should be with no utility to do anything on train. They got a bomb plant and they had a round-winning scenario on their hands. So, Prosto now forcing it up, and if they had saved one more with only blind Glocks, they would I think have had maximum like $3,400 between everyone. So it's a good force to go for. Interestingly, we'll see some money left over by 3 players, which is going to help out in the future rounds. If they can get a bomb plant this round, that would be really nice. Just tossing out the smokes into the outer sight and trying to spread amongst that site to try to get close to that bomb train. A few flashes left for them. They might be able to do this.
How close they are. That's all over the site. That really could have gone either way. I think that was a reasonably high variance situation, though. On this occasion, Spirit will be well in control. Seems they were comfortable fighting at close quarters, and they'll only lose 1 player, which is great. And Prosto are in Eco Town, so Team Spirit are in a comfortable position for the time being. But they can't put their feet up just yet. Another buy is around the corner here for Prosto, and the score is still tight. However, it has been 5 rounds from 6 for Team Spirit, so the spirits must be high. Sumdayoung and Davkos will start off on the B bomb site. I think we'll see an aggressive peek from Davkos, since Sumdayoung can hold the low ground. Ivan might walk in, never mind, he's out of there. Ooh, they're both out there, retracting very far indeed, playing max range on the B bomb sites.
No nades, no armor, no hope, question mark. What are you calling
Sotsfik.
Sot what?
They've just got Sotsfik. Sotsfik, Sumdayoung, those are the first 2. I guess it's displaying their Faceit names as opposed to their actual names, but it's Sotsfik.
Roger that.
And Sumdayoung. And Def is just Def.
That's simple.
FYI.
Oh yeah. That is strange. By the way, so it's going to be double offs again for Team Spirit's maximal utility. Prosto with a good selection of utility themselves, but how well will they use it? Deep Molotov there to secure position in the upper areas of B and prevent any AWP peaks. Team Spirit with good emphasis around Pop Dog, but you got to hold it if it's challenged. Prosto would do well to have a setup some good tactics to use to clean out the Pop Dog area, just force the CTs back a little bit. That will enable them to have a stronger chance at a split later on. That's usually what you want to do, but if before you will go for that push. But they are going to alley here with 3 players, so that actually means there's less worry about taking Pop Dog aggressively. Maybe we'll use utility here to push the CTs back. And Team Spirit still have a lot of presence towards the front of the A site. That might be a problem with 3 players coming alley.
Which way will Prosto go, however? Because there are no eyes on the site. With the time remaining, I think Sotfik is repositioning to the site itself, but he's surely going to get traded. Oh, he was so close. Davkos just waiting. Makes it easy for him. Def 1 versus 2, 23 seconds. They're waiting to double peek, I'm sure. Davkos has a shot. There's a tag from Connector. Repositioning once more. Looking to double peek perhaps to the left and the right. Davkos will do the job. It's really... I think it's Sotfik who is playing the op around Ivy. It's fun to watch when the time starts to get late. Obviously, a lot of the time you're going to have a CT sniper to the right-hand side of Ivy, but he understands that with certain time, Prosto are more likely to push into the site itself because they don't really, they can't afford the time to wrap around to Old Bomb or go somewhere else. So he adjusts accordingly. Very good awareness from Team Spirit, and it does keep them well prepared for Prosto's pushes.
Yeah, I think they could have been a bit more synchronized coming out of teammate to sort of split that defense, but that's a fast trade there. Kenzor able to steal away the AWP for Ivan. Goldie up high. It's going to be successful. Leg shot for Ivan.
It's just flying all over the place with the AWP. I don't think he is feeling very challenged at the moment, Davkos. 15 for 4. Coldy 17 for 6. Coldy one to watch out for in the maybe on Cash. Curious, he does seem to be an explosive player for Team Spirit. So yeah, Davkos playing. He is very confident indeed. Prosto on the buy once more. Ivan spotted a target, but no connection made just yet. Presence towards B from the T side. Flaric is towards Ivy. Taking his time for now. So let's see what Prosto choose to do on this occasion. They want a pistol, let's not forget. So it's basically an 8-to-1 right now as Team Spirit, just to give you an idea of how well Prosto are doing.
Young is gonna. Oh! Oh, I thought he had that. Well, he will die prematurely, perhaps, as his name suggests. Push continues. Beautiful work here with that AK. And everyone's getting shot in the face with AK-47s.
They know Sotfik is the Ivy player. So you can see on the radar, Flaric moving into position because it's very limited where Sotfik could likely be at the moment. Don't know if Flaric can hear the scope from his position, but he's starting to hug the wall. Yeah, Kenzorka's still looking all over the place. Oh dear. Well, that was a great performance from Sviat. He single-handedly won the round there for Prosto, and maybe that is what they needed. Plenty of money here for Team Spirit. 2 more rounds to fight for from Prosto. Very nice play there from Sviat. The double snipers continue for Team Spirit, and why on earth not? They have been very successful so far. Can Prosto find another individual performance to convert around, to open a bomb site? Def will start off towards the upper B position, or he's taking a lot of Molotov damage. He must be careful now. Dima around the Pop Dog. Seems Team Spirit will have heightened focus towards B, with Davkos going to join Sam Dayang. Flaric in his usual position towards Ivy, starting slow. Sotfik on the other end, as per usual. Looking for a high ground peak. Currently... Ooh, yeah, I was going to say... Oh, he tags both of them, I think.
Yeah. Get wrecked. get absolutely wrecked. The HEs, that would have been lovely, but no. Oh my God, Shiats does get himself a kill to Dima, but look at the reds. You can't see red on your screen, but they are critically weak, of course. All in the red. Kenzo teetering around half health. It's only Ivan with really any respectable amount of health. That is problematic. Very susceptible to spray, very susceptible to grenades, and they're going to go towards the B site as well, which is also incredibly nadeable when you make their way in.
Davkos has a high explosive grenade, and they've given the bomb to a player with 15 HP. So keep an eye on that. He'll start off well with the AWP. Oh, and he won't get to throw that HE grenade after all. He'll get shot in the face instead, but you can see the problem with being low health. 2 M4s coming their way, just 1 bullet required. And now Flaric has much to do. Does he commit to this? I think he might. Coldie spots him, and there he goes as well. Too much damage taken earlier on in the round. 3 players surviving for Team Spirit. They'll be fine for the final round. They don't even need to take the second AWP. They can keep the AKs because Davkos has more than enough money to buy the AWP. Something to think about for those of you at home when you move into the last round. Okay, Sundayoung's going to pick up the AWP anyway. Fair enough. I don't know if they needed the extra spread of money, but in situations where you're moving into the last round and you have enough money to buy an AWP and someone can save an AK, you should prioritize the AK.
Is that, would you pronounce that SWATs? I'm curious. SWATs. I'm unsure of the pronunciation on that one.
Fiat 500.
Fiat 500. Lovely. 100% accurate. Nice catch there onto Kenzo. Trying to push that Olofmeister area. Down into hell for Ivan though. Try to succeed where Kenzo fails, but what the hell is that? Just, oh my God, just circling around with the crosshair there. Finding all the players of Prosto. Unable to make much of a dent into that A site. The bomb is lost in front of Team Main. And Siats? I'm struggling, James. I'm having a bit of a struggle on the struggle bus. All aboard. 10-5, Team Spirit with a lovely first half to open up the day. 21-7 for Coldie. Having a lovely time indeed.
Coldie's the man.
The man.
I'm enjoying this Team Spirit team. It must be said, Team Spirit team. I'm enjoying Team Spirit.
Team.
I'm enjoying the players of Team Spirit. I feel like I need to say team because you could enjoy individual plays, or you could enjoy the team efforts. So I don't know how. It's too early to English. Okay.
It is really.
Second pistol. We'll have a tactical timeout from Team Spirit. But yeah, I quite enjoyed watching them on Mirage earlier on in this tournament on the T side. Had some brazen, aggressive rounds, which most certainly require confidence from their entry fraggers. Train, maybe not the... Well, I guess there are ways to express that if you look at Chris J on Train, for example, when he has an AK in his hands. But maybe it will be easier to communicate on a map such as Cash. But let's see what they can do. Starting off with the pistol, Sundayoung will have double flash and a smoke grenade. Maniac speaks very highly of Sundayoung. It's a great name as well. If I was up against him, I'd change my, I'd say Sundayoung. Well, Someday Ugly. Get the smack talk in there.
Back waiting for the push. Does get himself a nice start. That's really important. You want to really make sure you control those Ts, the flow of the Ts. You need to be the traffic coordinator, the operator. Make sure they don't push too far. You must regulate the channels between the trains. And there is some fantastic regulation here. All the regulations are being...
All kinds of regulation.
Upheld. Enforced. Oh my God. Crime doesn't pay. Crime doesn't pay.
Def, Kenzork, and Fiat all get helmets for $350. That is massive. That often means you can pick up an M4 over an SMG. So this matters a hell of a lot, and you'll see soon that Prosto have 4 M4s in round 2, which is almost unheard of. They also have no incendiary grenades versus a team who are sure to be rushing somewhere. But they know the AKs are coming. And the burst seems to be on point. Nobody gets past the barbed wire on the B bomb site. Sumda Young making his way towards A. He's that guy who, in case of success, has a flanking position that might win a round, but in case of failure, looks like somebody who isn't really following the overall plan. Such is the nature of the role. But there we go. Okay, Ivan's gone for the auto sniper. I do wonder if he's meant to buy that, because, I mean, I don't know why you would choose to buy an auto sniper over an AWP in round 3 of a half. If you're playing, I mean, Exist used to use it around connector towards the B bomb site, especially with this angle. He most certainly needs more than one shot, so who knows? Let's see how it works out for him.
Auto sniper is a fun old time. I like that it's coming out pretty quickly here. The issue is that it can be pretty anticlimactic in some spots, because these AKs, they won't be moving quickly, and it might take 2 shots to find the frag. Although Prosto doing a pretty good job initially on the defense. Sumda Young doing some damage, 3 kills to him, still 100 on the health. That's a beautiful follow-up, and that's 4 now. Looking for the final frag, looking for the ace, but he needs to spin around. The 180 is not there. His spider senses are not tingling, and that will be the end of him.
I refuse to believe that he meant to buy the auto sniper. I straight up refuse to believe that.
Why? Maybe it's meta over there.
Just
over
no. It just doesn't make any sense, especially for the angle, the type of angles he's holding. It's like you're going to tag someone at best, and they're going to run past. It's like, what's the point in that? There's no way.
I mean, I've seen people play it from the Heaven, CT Heaven, and I think that would have been better than where he was.
Yeah, it's a misbuy, but I think I don't know.
But why wouldn't you change position to something better, more suitable? You also wonder.
But if he doesn't play that position, I think it either compromises everybody's positions, because someone will have to pick up the slack, and then loads of people are out of position. So you just have to make the best of a bad situation.
Just go CT Sky, mate. Get in that window. Break that glass.
Team Spirit have got 1 frag out of this. P250 kill means the P250 will pay for itself, as the cost is the same as the kill bonus. Quick maths. Davkos has got a 2nd kill. That's like $12,000 of damage, and he's looking to make it 18. It's pretty good. That's a great eco round for Spirit. That's a really good eco round.
Everyday man's on the block.
Yeah. Yes, Dan.
Oh no. Oh, what's happening? Okay. I'm fine, everyone. Goodbyes to both teams. This is an important spot as well. Both teams with their best chance, you would want to think, considering what they have in their hands. And Sumda Young securing positioning in it, creating some pressure here. And there's also, you know, they can note that there's no pressure on the upper area. That's a beautiful push. That's a beautiful catch. That's the bomb. And that's another frag. And that might be that. You like that, didn't you? That was great.
What a passage of commentary.
Yes.
Outstanding. Prosto finding comfort on the CT side. This will be 5 from 5 rounds. 5 rounds in total won by T sides at the moment, all by Prosto in the first half. Still early in the second. 5 players surviving for Prosto, and they steal a second AWP. What do Team Spirit choose to do? They've gone for a tactical timeout. They could force up in this round, but having killed nobody in the prior rounds, maybe they will want to be better equipped. Ten. Team Spirit looked really good, but Train for sure is a game of two halves. Both teams enjoying strong CT sides for now, but Prosto still have a way to go.
Oh, this is kind of marginal. Team Spirit can get the half buy-in and run a set piece and try to hazard a bomb plant. And there's a lot of different ways to approach that. You know, you can just go CZ, you can buy up and get yourselves a delayed set piece. That way you avoid most of the counter grenades and so on and so forth. And the smokes and flashes will get you out to the site for a plant, and then maybe you can actually get a couple kills of the CZs. Or you can go quickly, or you can just go for B. B is much more retakeable. A is harder to take, but harder for the CTs once you have. So there's lots of different options, none clearly the best. But what I am sad about here in this round is that I feel as though they could have had a lot more utility. Yeah, they could have had a lot more utility. They're on max loss bonus, and most of them are going to have $7,000 next round. They could have had much more utility in this round, and they would have had a much better chance in getting a bomb down, which would make up for the utility usage, and also much more pressure on the opponent's economy as well. But you can see here they're just having to walk out. They've got nothing to really cover them because of that lack of utility. No flashes to make life really all that difficult. And they will get the bomb down, but this could have been a round where they could have gotten some damage into their opponent too, very legitimately. So, what do you think, James?
Someone tweeted me and said that Sviat's name is pronounced Yar.
Excuse me? Yar?
Yeah. Maybe we can get someone to go and ask him between maps. How do we pronounce your name, bro? I did, wait a minute, I did go and ask them already.
Oh.
But I can't remember now. So, we'll have to task somebody with the job to find out how you pronounce his name for show. Ivan is on fire. Ivan is no longer on fire. His flame retardant suit is dodgy. It's old and no longer holds up to accepted standards.
I'm curious, considering that they did save so much money last round, which you would probably almost never see most teams do. I'm curious how that will actually impact them in the future.
Probably gives them another buy round next round.
Ooh, the wipeout.
So let's see.
Well, they have the max loss bonus, and they have had for a while. So
yeah, so it gives them a buy here, whereas I suppose if they made more of an investment in the eco round. Well, actually, it's the bomb plant, isn't it, that makes a difference?
Yeah, they got extra 800 for the bomb plant. That's the thing, like, the bomb plant made up for the utility that they should have spent to get the bomb plant, and then it gives you a much better chance of getting a couple kills, and then that pressure from the economy is really useful.
Yeah, but if you look at how much they have left in the bank here, well, two players have like $1,000, but apart from that, maybe it works out for the extra buy. Be interesting to do the maths on that.
Yeah, yeah. It's really interesting. There's definitely arguments both ways. I think at the very like top 8 level, you need to always, if there's a chance to get pressure on your opponent, you need to take it. But in this level, it's definitely, you know, you can definitely take a different approach. Ooh, that's some decent damage on the spray. Only gets one kill. Ivan has a great position with the orb. This is really fantastic. Oh, the left. Look to the left. Look to the left. Oh dear. Unfortunately, did not check the left, and that's the bomb going down. Very nice push from Coldy to not just think that, okay, I've just got to plant this bomb. If he had done that, then Ivan would be alive still, and it'd be a much worse situation for them. So well played to Coldy. The 3v2 ensues. Fast push from Yar.
Of course, the barrel of his gun concedes his position. There is a smoke. The AWPer trying to defuse the bomb. Rotation is heard, but he can't do anything about it. Sotfik gets the round. He wins the round for Team Spirit. Well, it was a team effort, but he will close the round for Team Spirit. Fair to say. and the score is kept tight. Now we've got an expensive round for Prosto. They must rebuy plenty. Team Spirit with a tactical timeout? A tactical timeout? Of which one remains following the conclusion of this one.
Everyday man's on the block. Oh, it's on the road, isn't it?
I can't imagine a reality where you are the man's on the block, Dan. I just can't.
Man's on the road. Is it on the road or? No, it's on the block. Yeah.
You don't even know if it's the road or the block, man. You're a fraud.
Yeah.
You're a fraud. If Dan's on the block, then the world really is falling to pieces. And we should all move to
Sauce.
Switzerland with Mania.
Raw sauce. Right, with 2 AWPs here for Prosto, and Team Spirit going to have to give it another crack. Prosto's economy has been growing significantly. That's sort of been the sacrifice or the choice that Team Spirit have made. They've allowed for that to happen to prioritize their buys. Oh, that's a good flash. You are there in a good position.
Oh
nice double,
God.
clean, quick. That man's got the sauce.
That second frag was beautiful. So fast. Wonder if it was a pre-fire. The angle was spot on. Spot on. 3 players remain for Team Spirit, facing a reset. They've only won 1 round in this half so far. So the implications of this are quite ominous. There goes the bomb. 3 unresponded frags. No smokes left for the CT side to make life even more difficult with this bomb. Some die young indeed. Some take a bullet to the face. Prosto 3 rounds away from the first map. The money is gone for Team Spirit. Is this forced by territory with 1 AK on Davkos? Ooh, Coldy is going to buy an AK as well. I don't know if someone dropped one to him or... Okay, it's because he's got no helmet, that's why. It's too early for the math stand. Somebody get me a calculator.
Quick maths. 2 + 2 is 4.
I feel like we've almost switched roles. You're talking gibberish, and I'm commentating the match. At some point, the roles will switch back. It'll be interesting. Stay tuned to see when James becomes James and Dan becomes Dan. Charging into the B bomb site are Team Spirit. Oh, they're lining up, and that's the wrong kind of cue for Team Spirit. Molotov flying towards the site, but the bomb will get planted, and it is an absolute shooting gallery. Team Spirit driven pheasants in this round. Driven pheasants indeed. And there is round number 14 for Prosto. Nowhere to go except next show, bro. Man. $14 rounds.
Bosh. Boom.
1 T round in this half. 6 T rounds in this match. It has been a game of counter-terrors. A game of SWAT teams. What country is this Gigan? I'm not sure what the models are on this map.
Ivan's on the ting.
this will never be normal.
Boy of the ting. They've only got P250s. Go easy. Come on. That's not very fair, is it? Can't be throwing shrapnel at your opponents. Oh, all right.
How has he done that?
See the rags to riches story. A P250 and a dream. He's taken down ER. Now, look at that upgrade. Measly P250 to a glorious AK-47. What else can they do with it? Oh, well, it's like the end of most stories. Just disappointing. Disappointing. Could have been more.
And is notorious for not completing games.
Yeah, is it you as well that does that? Like you played?
No.
Oh,
It's you.
played
It's
to
not me,
the
Dan.
end.
It's you.
To the last boss, almost completed it. Like nah.
No, I like to 100% on occasion. Anyway, Prosto looking to 100% team spirit in this round and take the first map of this best of 3 series. Cash is the map to follow. Team Spirit echoed the previous round to play against Game Points. 4 rounds, not too far, but again, looking at the track record of success here on the T side, this entire match doesn't look good for Team Spirit.
Quick headshot there onto Death, and they'll slowly press further and further onto the bomb train. Kenzo, 15 HP, where's the headshots? Oh no, it's all gone wrong. Man was ducking, it was not enough. Was not enough. Prosto, sitting on that 15 still, sitting on the 15.
Insta rebuy from Prosto, instant.
They got the cash.
Kenzork still with 10k.
Where's the auto sniper though? For like 2 ops auto sniper, that's the answer right now. If only they could see that, James. If only they knew.
Is it a fast one from Team Spirit? It's fast grenades, and it looks like they are going to just bundle into this. A change of pace. Some Dai Young is blind, and that's going to give Yard the opportunity he needs. Almost a 3k. For the team, that is. There is a 3rd kill after all. Team Spirit now down to Dav Cost, holding a gap. We are in London, mind the gap. The bomb's on the floor, not sure if the CTs know where it is. Probably know where it was. All this scoping, so many angles, and that will eventually compromise his position. Kenzork will finish things off. Prosto take the first map of this best of 3 series, 16-12.
Very nice, very nice. Looked a bit sketchy from time to time, but they managed to pull through. A good performance.